Dear Donald Trump, it's been a while, hasn't it? The last time I made a video, directed to you, it was a while back. I was understandably angry. A lot of times passed and many things have happened along the way, but hey, I think we can both agree that by this point things have calmed down. They've chilled. I've just got one question for you. One really simple question. Can you feel it? Can you feel that seething, broiling, oncoming storm? That horrific cacophony of karma slipping the knife of reality deep into your heart? The absolute and utter chaos which you have sown for so very long. Oh, it's slowly and quite assuredly twisting your patience into knots. Your unyielding anger has turned into a feedback loop of the greatest kind. And best of all, it's by your own hand, your own history, that this result has come back to haunt you. Everything that you've ever done that was shady, everything that you've ever said, everything that you've built, everything that you've both succeeded at and have been defeated at, it's all fallen down. You are a failure, sir. Your staff are working against you. Your wife wants to leave you. Your closest allies are poisoning your personal water supply, and there's not a fucking thing you can do to stop this asteroid from smashing you to pieces. Donald John Trump, you are not just a fool, a failure, a fuck up. You, sir, are a most treasonous bag of utter shit. The biggest one of your kind that I have ever had the displeasure of hearing words come from, both spoken and written. You are what people aspire to avoid being. Your dealings with Russia, your porn star payments, your sexual harassment, every single fucking thing in the goddamn world wants your head on a pike and your limbs mailed to different countries as a warning not to fuck with the United States of America. I watch with great glee, satisfaction, and wonderment as a child might have upon waking up on Christmas Day and finding out that not only is Santa Claus real, but he has a puppy and a new shiny new bike to give. I watch with great happiness as everything I knew was true, everything I've theorized, everything I've talked about becomes true in the greatest way possible. And you, sir, you're getting your just rewards. You're having it all and eating your cake too. Doesn't that feel great? Doesn't it? I mean, that saying is just amazing. Having your cake and eating it too. But the cake is poisoned, and there is no antidote. I will read Bob Woodward's book to such a high degree of happiness, of joy, of utter satisfaction and completion, that whatever depression I might have been going through in the past 21 days will be as nothing compared to your own when the verdict is read, when you are guilty of high treason. And they put you in that orange jumpsuit. I have never, ever wished harm on a sitting president, elected by the people, for the people. But you weren't elected by the people, were you? No, not really. You were elected, yes, by the people, but through the influence of a foreign power, wishing to damage our spirits, wishing to shatter our faith in democracy, and instead they woke the giant. Not only that, but they fucking pissed in its eye. The giant is woke, shook, and by golly, by motherfucking golly, you, sir, will be the first to feel the force of its mighty foot slam down on those that dare harm it. You shall know true pain, not physical, but the only kind of pain that can truly hurt a man of such high egocentric behavior, such as yourself. Your image is tainted, torn apart. Your livelihood, the memory of your fame and fortune will be stripped away layer by simmering layer, as your reputation and goodwill are flayed. As the promise of fortune your brand once held has been broken, and your personal and professional life are torn asunder, you will know pain and heartbreak and rage and suffering as such the world has never seen before. Oh, you will have fire and fury, but that fire and fury will be turned against yourself. I don't care what office you hold. In a few months to 2 years, that won't matter. Your assets will be frozen, your property will be seized, your family will be broken apart, your support system will loosen, weaken, and ultimately disappear. And if I could claim responsibility for writing that scathing, revealing, soul-crushing op-ed piece in the New York Times just to get a single glimpse of the unkempt rage in your eyes, to see that rage be snuffed out as you realize that you realize that all you are, all you ever were, and all you will ever be is just another joke of a human being. You miserable infant, crying over playground words that resonate so deeply within your soul that you carry with you emotional skin so thin that the wind just can brush it off with a slight breeze and expose your disgusting innards to the wiles and wills of the anti-Trump frenzy you so willingly stirred up. It will be a glorious day. It will be a magnificent day. And when you are extradited to Russia and have been tortured and mutilated beyond recognition, are forced to eke out an existence of pure and unadulterated horror, only then will you realize how much contempt, how much seething hatred, and how much disgust I have always had for you. Not since you announced your candidacy, but well before then. Well before then. Just every single thing I've read about you, from when your face first was smacked against the newspapers, to every horrifying little detail. There are a lot of details. All these little dots, those are all the details that have popped up. Every single thing. All those details. I hope the way of the world, the entire weight of the world, crashes down on your head and your weak-willed, glass-like bones are shattered and you are driven mad by the fact that even at the highest office in the land, in the office of the President of these United States of America, you are still a very large disappointment to your racist dead father. You shit-eating son of a bitch. Now, normally I would lead this off with a greeting. Normally, I would just be like, okay, my work is done. Time to stop recording. And just put through editing. And that's it. But I have a little bit more to add. I do. Despite everything I've said over the past 12 minutes, at your very core, you are human. You're not perfect. You made mistakes. You've made a shit ton of mistakes, which has invariably pissed off a lot of people. But you're still human. And you're still American. You've got family and friends and a support system that's all your own. And while yes, I do not like you in the least, I still have the slight inkling that maybe somehow you'll stop acting like a petulant child that just drank its first caffeinated soda and start realizing that the office of the president of the office of the presidency is not a place for you to go where you can play on the monkey bars. No. The responsibility that you have not only to America, all 51 states, 51, yeah, about there. And the peoples of those 50 states, the citizens, as well, both, and the that are here both legally and illegally, as well as, defending our nation from tyrants, dictators, terrorists, your own mental instability, which is showing. I saw that anonymous thing that you had going on, and frankly, I'm kind of worried, man. I'm kind of worried. Yes, I crack jokes. Yes, I post rants. Yes, I do not like you at all. But you're still human, and there's still human compassion. So, at the very least, look into the symptoms of dementia, because you're showing it, and all the stress that everyone's putting you through, which, cool, awesome, fuck you, Trump, but at the same time, take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. You need to make sure that you're getting the help you need in order to have clear mental faculties. Because when you're doing these rallies constantly, like, after a while, that shit takes a toll on you. And yeah, you may get a charge out of it, you may need to like constantly be out there and everything, but you have not aged well. You went from a glowing orange pile of crap to that same pile of crap just covered in white mold. And yes, there are political commentaries which do a much better job of diving into your policies and the reasons why you shouldn't be impeached. But those guys, they do their thing. Let them. My vlogs and my posts and everything else are more opinion based. Yes, there is some hint of truth in them, but at the same time, they are my thoughts. They are my opinions. This is what I come up with. I'm more of a, blunt force kind of guy. It's not like, surgical. Oh, we should pick on him because of this, all this. No. People already know about all the crap that you've ever done. Because while I don't like you at all, while I want you out of office, I don't want any harm to come to you. I mean, I don't. I just want you out of office. Once you're out of office, you can, roam free with all the racist idiots, gallop off into the depths of the Grand Canyon without any safety harnesses. Or, play in the fields of ignorance inside a burning building, thinking you're God, but you're not. You're just a human being going through intense amounts of stress, slowly losing your mental faculties. And it scares me because sooner or later you're just gonna snap. You're gonna make a wrong decision, and it's going to cost America. It's not just going to cost you, it's going to cost America, the country that you're in charge of protecting. Is going to pay a much higher cost than you could ever possibly comprehend. And I applaud the anonymous op-ed writer, whoever it is. I'm not concerned with their identity. I applaud them. I applaud them for speaking up, for letting us know that everything that we've ever thought that was going on in the White House is actually going on in the White House. And you know what? With all these similar reports coming out from Michael Wolff, from Omarosa, from Bob Woodward, and now the guy inside the White House going, you know what? All that crazy shit you guys have been talking about, that shit is going on. Dude, Donald, get help, because you're needing it. Physiologically speaking, there are 3 states of the human life cycle. There's the child, adult, senior. The child can bounce back from pretty much everything. Their cells are just like going nuts, going, ha, you got a broken arm? We're gonna fix that shit in a couple of months. The adult, you got a broken arm? that shit'll be fixed in a couple of months to a year. A senior, that shit will be fixed in a year to a year and a half. The same with the mental faculties. As you get older, your mind starts repairing itself at a slower rate. And with this constant bombardment of negative publicity, yes, publicity is publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. No, it is not. Your mind is breaking, and everyone can see it. It's like the story of the Emperor's New Clothes, only except instead of being naked and thinking that you're wearing clothes, it's being insane and believing that you're acting in a rational manner, which you are not. So, yeah. Step down from the office before you get impeached, or allow yourself to get impeached, or run your term out, or get voted out, or have the 25th Amendment enacted on you. But either way, stop, look, listen, and for God's sakes, man, just come clean. What's the worst that's gonna happen? They're gonna put you behind bars. What to do? You did the crime, you gotta do the time. That's how that shit works. You are not above the law. You never were. You never will be. The law of the land applies to every single person, regardless of economic class. Low, middle, high, public and private offices, military and civilian, the known and the unknown. The law is the law. You break the law, you get punished, you get fined, you get put in jail. And at the moment, with the Mueller investigation, like sending all these people to jail with guilty verdicts, yeah, he's got his sights on you, my man. Actually, you're not, my man. You're a shit-eating son of a bitch. You got rough waters ahead. Yeah. So even though I will be extremely happy, extremely jubilant, extremely just celebratory that your ass is getting the fuck out of office, at the same time, you need to take care of yourself. Because at the core of everything, no one wants to see you dead. Okay, correction. Myself and sane people don't want to see you dead. I know in the beginning there were some, there was a lot of imagery and everything that was like, we're gonna, divide you up like Braveheart in France and don't mess with us. But at the same time, help, survival, goodwill. That's all. Right. No, right. I'm gonna get back to it. So, fuck you, Trump. Resist. that whole thing. But get help before America pays the price.